What's up, everyone? My name is Rafael. I'm a new motorcycle rider. I'm a beginner, so I thought it would kind of make sense to give you guys some pointers on some of my experience with a motorcycle and what would be the best beginner motorcycle for most people. And just give you guys some ideas and some of the things that I went through in case you're looking for a motorcycle and what type of motorcycle will be the best motorcycle for you to buy. So the first thing that you should think of is that it doesn't matter what type of motorcycle you want to end up riding in the future. I would say on the beginning, just look for something that's cheap, that's not going to cost you a lot, because you will likely end up dropping your motorcycle. This is my second motorcycle. I bought a Yamaha R3 before this motorcycle, and I dropped it while I was stopped. I know a lot of people say that on their videos, and it is true. The second thing that I would consider is that it doesn't really matter if you want to end up riding a super sports bike or a cruiser or whatever type of motorcycle you want. In the beginning, you don't need to get that style. You could go for something that will be cheap on your pocket if you drop it and not make you know it's not gonna be that much of a big deal. Like, I bought the R3, I dropped it. I'm glad I bought the R3 because it was not like an MT-09, which cost like over $12,000 brand new. So look for something that's gonna be cheap. One other thing that I would say is that there are certain types of motorcycle that might be better for a beginner depending on where you live. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area on the East Bay, and it gets crazy windy here. So I had the Yamaha R3. That motorcycle felt way too small to be riding in this area. It gets so windy that trucks flip over on the bridge. And one time I rode that motorcycle on the Bay Bridge, and I thought the wind was just gonna throw me off the motorcycle. The weight on those sports bikes, the weight feels a little bit higher than a cruiser, so it gets scary. If you live in a windy area, as a beginner, I would not get a cruiser. I would not get a sports bike. I would get a cruiser. The weight is lower. If it gets windy, it doesn't feel like the wind is gonna throw you off the motorcycle. It just feels safer. And what you need to know in the beginning is that you need to learn how to shift up and down, how to do slow turns, all of that stuff, which I'm still practicing. I don't consider myself to have enough experience to jump on a bigger motorcycle than this one. This is the Yamaha Bolt. I had the R3 for probably about a year, but most of the time it was just sitting in my garage because I did not feel safe riding it. It was scary. So that's something to consider. If you live in a windy area, I would look for a cruiser. But if you don't, then I think the R3 is a great bike. I would have felt fine on it, safe, if it was not for all the crazy Bay Area wind. I took this bike on a ride a couple of days ago, last Saturday. Today is Wednesday. And it was fun, but there were times that I was scared too because of the wind, and I couldn't imagine doing that on the R3. It would have been super scary. So I had the R3 for close to a year, and I probably put less miles on that bike than I did on this one. And I've had this one for about a month, over a month. But I think I put over 500 miles on it already, because our bike ride last week was 280 miles. So that's something to consider. Even if you want to ride a sports bike, you know, you could get a cruiser, learn how to do the basic, learn how to move the bike around, and then get the motorcycle that you want later. You don't need to just go all crazy for the expensive motorcycle that you want. Be patient, learn the basics, get a cheap motorcycle, learn the basics, and then just go from there. That's my plan. I wanted to get an MT-09, but I think that bike is way too powerful for my experience. So I'm not gonna go for that bike, not right now at least. But I want to learn how to, you know, do my turns, do my shifting gears, controlling the clutch, all of that good stuff before I jump into a motorcycle that's that powerful. But I don't know. I'm enjoying the cruiser motorcycle too, so instead of getting an MT-09, maybe I'll just get a bigger cruiser. One other thing that I would like to talk about, which is not really related to a motorcycle style, is all the things you're gonna hear, especially if you don't come from a family that people ride motorcycles. You're gonna hear a lot of, "Oh my God, it's so dangerous, so dangerous." That's the phrase you're gonna listen to the most. And it gets super annoying. It's like, yeah, I know it's dangerous, no shit. It's a motorcycle, you know, you're riding on two wheels at whatever many miles per hour. But, you know, people end up just getting over it at some point. They'll see that you have a motorcycle, you want to ride a motorcycle, and you will ride a motorcycle. So that doesn't really matter what they say. It's just kind of annoying. The other thing, like, I'm on my 30s, I'm 34 now. Some people will say, is it a midlife crisis? You know, maybe. But when I was younger, I wanted to get a motorcycle. I've always wanted to get a motorcycle. I just never felt like I was in a place that I could get a motorcycle, or that would be good for me to get a motorcycle at that time. So it could be a midlife crisis, I guess, if you want to call it. But this is a time that I feel like I can afford and can have a motorcycle. So, yeah. You know, when I was younger, I could afford a motorcycle too, if I wanted to, but that was not my priority. Now I'm old enough, I have my own place, you know, I have family. I'm not gonna go riding all crazy. I just enjoy going on a ride, it's fun. Like today, I worked all day and I'm going out here for a ride. Probably only gonna take about 40 minutes to an hour. And just gonna enjoy it, you know, it's fun. You don't have to be in a midlife crisis. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're just trying to enjoy a ride. That's it. These are some little twisties by my house, which are pretty good to practice. That could be another thing to be added. If you have a road near you that you can practice on that has a bunch of twists like this one, that's a good place to go. But getting into turns like this as a beginner, that's something that I need a lot of practice. Not that I need a lot of practice, because it's not something that you just learn in one day. You gotta take your time, learn. That's what I was talking about, learning the gears on the motorcycle, how fast you can go on each gear, and how to lean and turn. I could have done this turn here much faster if I had more experience, but I like to slow down so I can be safe while I'm learning. I'm not racing anybody. Like, this is a pretty tight turn here. Like, I could have gone a little bit faster on this one too. There's a big bump here. Could have gone a little bit faster, lean the bike a little bit more, but I don't feel comfortable doing that right now. I'm gonna make another video at one point explaining why I think the Yamaha Bolt is a good beginner bike and why I think it is better than the R3. I mentioned some of the points already on this video, but there are a couple other things that I could explain better. So hope you guys have a good day. I might just put a clip of me riding on this twists here, and I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, this turn here is pretty scary. It's pretty steep, and it's a right-hand turn, which is my worst. Coming out of a stop on a right hand, and that turn is pretty steep. First time I went there, I actually stalled the bike because I didn't have the control of the clutch. And that's why it is good to go to little roads like this instead of freeway if you want to practice and get better. Of course, it is. You still have to learn how to ride on the highway, but this helps a lot for you to know the bike, know the gears. So for now, just enjoy the view, guys. Another person on the motorcycle. He was going much faster than I would. races are still a little bit scary for me. Yep, it is a cruiser, but it has plenty of power. One thing that I'll say, the seat on this motorcycle is not comfortable. If you plan on buying this motorcycle, it is not, the seat is not very comfortable. If you plan on keeping it for a while, I would change the seat. I might change the seat on mine, but I don't know for how long I'll keep it. There we go, we're on highway speeds and this bike rides really nice. Still has torque. If you're doing over 80, this bike will shake a lot. But I mean, it is still like it's super windy right now. If I was on the Yamaha 3, it would be scary because it would be throwing me to the sides. Not crazy fun when the wind does that. If it's not windy where you live, I would say the Yamaha 3 is a beautiful, awesome bike. I was scared to ride mine because of this.